Hi, my name is Amy Case. I am the Chief Strategy and Operating Officer for Kaiser Associates. It's a small consultancy based in Washington, D.C., and we also have an office in London. So between our two locations, we're about an 80-person firm. I joined the firm last summer, and at that point in time, we were using a firm that shall remain nameless on what had been a help desk contract that had ballooned into basically their being our go-to for everything IT related. But it was never really a negotiated relationship, so the pricing was outrageous. So it was really high on my priority to-do list to go through the RFP process for a new MSP. Orion was already on our radar from work. Our CFO had engaged them to perform back in April and May of 22 when they performed a vulnerability assessment for us. At that time, and just as a point of reference, at that time, they discovered 41 level 5 threats. Those are confirmed threats of such severity, intruders can readily gain control of your entire network and compromise it. We had 15 level 4 issues, and that's where intruders can possibly gain control of your network. On top of that, we had about 875 level 3, 2, and 1 issues. So the whole network was really vulnerable. The service that we received in terms of our ability to conduct our business and have Wi-Fi available consistently throughout the office was patchy at best. There were whole zones of the office where had no coverage. And then there are a couple of places where we had access points, hanging down from the acoustic tiles in the ceiling. So it was a really atrocious situation. So we conducted an RFP in the fall of 22. We selected Orion as our vendor, I believe, in October, and they were the clear choice from a really qualified field of impressive folks that we looked at, and they began onboarding us right away. There were a number of factors. One was that they really did understand us, and certainly they had an advantage having worked with us earlier in the year. But they took all the time they had invested in educating themselves about us and turned it to great advantage in their proposal. It was really appropriately tailored to our needs. Second, they were very reasonably priced, which we were excited about. Third, they had a level of flexibility and responsiveness to what we were asking for that was absolutely unparalleled. And I put that third because it was third in the decision process, but the reality is that's the reason to do business with Orion. Is wherever you are, whatever you need, they'll meet you there. For us, this has really been championed by Sammy Jo Dubois, who is really our concierge of all things IT and available to us. I think it's fairly accurate to say at pretty much any hour of the day or night, any day of the week. Maybe not 365 a year, but pretty darn close. And then she's really very adept at steering our questions, our needs, wherever they need to go. So Ashu, the CEO, is regularly involved and weighs in whenever there are questions of policy or, gosh, I'm really not sure, how do we make this transition? Or should we begin our backup now, or should we wait until we have migrated the whole system before we're doing our backups? And, so that level of very senior, very tenured insight is incredibly valuable. And then the team of technicians are fabulous, led by our on-point guy with whom I work really closely, certainly through the onboarding stage, which for us seems to took quite a long time because we had a lot of issues. So we went from weekly 1-hour meetings to every other week, and then half an hour meetings, and we're just migrating from that, we hope, to a little longer time in between. But our technical team is terrific. They understand the issues that we're working on. They've screened the technician pool who work with our consulting staff so that these folks know one another and have some familiarity and some comfort with each other. And then we also, one day a week, have got an on-site person who is fabulous, Matthew Downsworth, and he provides all the on-site questions that are niggling, but just not worth chasing down in the middle of a busy workday. So people who can't get the printer driver installed correctly on their laptop, people who miss their preventative maintenance and need to have some software pushed, all kinds of just random help desky kind of questions. And a day a week we have him on site taking care of really everything that has to happen. Given the size of the firm, just a little under 100 people, we really could argue that it makes sense for us to insource our IT. And we considered that. And before I joined the firm, there was a period of time where there actually had been a full-time IT professional on staff. What we realized, though, is especially with how rapidly the IT world is evolving and how complex the IT needs are within, I think, really any office setting, but certainly ours in a knowledge-based industry and a service-based industry, we don't. There doesn't exist a single person who has the security know-how of our virtual chief information security officer, the many years of experience of a SHU who weighs in a CIO capacity for us, the responsiveness and availability that Matthew provides on the day a week when he's with us and hands-on dealing with machine issues, the deep technical programming systems awareness that our technical team and technicians have, and all wrapped up with the great big bow of Sammy Joe, who is handling our contract dates, providing me a full budget and checking in on how we're doing against it, raising items that we had said, this is on our wish list, let us know when we can start to think about it, letting us know it's time to think about that. It's literally not possible to find a single individual who could do all of those things. So the economics of it and just the human anatomy of it, it wouldn't have been possible without them. So while I did give it a moment's thought, it wasn't much more than a moment. Things today are day and night compared to where they were a year ago. At the time we brought them in, they had conducted a threat assessment for us and found over 50 level 4 and 5 threats on our system. We just had our first perfect 0, 4, 0, 5 level threats on our system, which is remarkable. And for the level 1, 2, 3 threats where we had nearly 900 of those, we now had just over 100. It was about 102. And the majority of them were level 2 threats, so pretty modest. So that's amazing. Our licensing cost, our software cost, has been significantly reduced by managing the license timing, the contracts. We have elevated the level of security the security awareness of our staff through cyber awareness training, through phishing exercises, and we've added a virtual private network through which people can access the internet when they're on a public network. We've layered in the ESET, really cutting edge protection for our machines. We have got a monthly preventative maintenance that runs like clockwork. And we have got a staff of folks who really feel that they are resourced and supported, whereas a year ago they were apoplectic. They were just beyond feeling that they were in the wilderness alone.